Question number 1, Ty, is sexiest CrossFit movement for you. This is subjective. It can't be a strength movement. You have to have something different.
Yeah, I like sexy. Bar muscle up. Number 1, bar muscle up has to be the sexiest movement out.
Well, I think because it's 2 hands on a thick bar.
I think it's just because, like, well, especially when you do it, Michael, especially when, like, you have a lot of hip, like hip involvement, where it's not, like, so, like, you know, arm dominant. A chicken wing muscle up is the least sexy thing I've ever seen, but a properly performed bar muscle up for reps, damn, that looks good. I think that's, like, the top movement. There's nothing that competes against it.
And if you post on a story, it gets the most views.
Yeah. Especially if you post only muscle ups on your story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it crumbs up.
Yeah.
We had 20 seconds. We just feel like
Just keep roasting it. Michael.
What about Izzy's muscle ups good?
Yeah, they're good.
Covering.
Sorry,
Wearing muscle-ups again.
better than some people.
There's been Fat Michaels.
Better than
Oh, Dad Michael.
The fatter he gets, the worse they get.
Trust me.
I'm cutting now, so it's going to come back.
I did a few ring muscle ups recently and they were hard, so
Still beat me in that workout.
yeah, I don't know how. 30 ring muscle ups out of
One
one.
minute more. All right, question 2. Let's go, Ty. We're running out.
Yeah, you can ask me. Izzy's gonna ask it.
Toast.
All right, Izzy.
Favorite style workout, e.g. chipper, 7 on an AMRAP, anything with a giving.
Cool. Michael, what is your favorite style of workout?
Increasing the interval ladder. So basically like 3 minutes on, 1 minute off times by 4. And then you might have increasing load, decreasing reps on your movement. So it might be something like 45 double unders, 7 chest to bar, 5 cleans. And then it might go around 2, 4 cleans and then increase weight, 3 cleans, 2 cleans, etc.
Wow, I like the same style, but I like the ones that you can complete.
Yeah.
So like the ones that like have like, you know, if you don't get it done, you have to restart with a buy-in every time, and there's like a set that you got to get done.
Yeah.
So like if the cleans was,
Where you earn more time.
that's it. Yeah, I like those ones. They're really cool. That's a good question. There we go. Next one, Michael's turn. 2 down, 8 to go.
What were your first impressions of each other, and are they still the same?
Oh, this one's cool. All right, so what were the first impressions? I think this is a 2-way question. What were your first impressions of me, and are they still the same? And then this question goes the other way.
No, mine weren't the same. I met Michael in 2014 at a Unbound speed comp, and I don't think he liked me very much because my workout partner at the time was a bit sketchy with his deadlifts. You know what I mean? He told me just
Like that's blurred.
just bounce the deadlifts, and then when he tells you off and turns around, keep bouncing them. So I think that was, and Michael came and told us off, and I was like, that fuck weird. He told
And
me.
his career lasted 8 years.
I was currently wearing a tie-dye singlet at the time, so and I had a man bun. No, I'm kidding. That was way later, but that's funny anyway.
Yeah, that was 2020.
All right, Michael, your turn. Same question.
First impressions of Ty. I think the first time, well, I don't remember meeting you then, so obviously not a great first impression.
Yeah, I know Arnold live.
I chose to black that one out. Was actually at the Burpengary Indoor Aquatic Center. I remember seeing Ty working on his swimming because he was going to down under.
Drown under me.
And he would be swimming every time I was swimming.
Yeah.
And this poor guy, I was like, I'm going to get back. And he's just going to be at the bottom of the pool. So I would mentally prepare myself to have to go rescue this kid every time.
I was bad. I swam every single week for like 3 years.
And he never recorded any of
No, I didn't have a phone back then.
Yeah.
So there you go. Good question. Oh, we kind of stay under a minute. I'll still take it. Next question is Dora.
it. We didn't answer if it's still the same.
Oh, is it still the same? No, mine's not still the same.
It's answering this. What is the difference between mitosis and meiosis in terms of purpose and culture?
Mitosis and meiosis.
I don't even know what they are.
I don't know. Skip the question. Next question.
Only I can answer that because I went to be.
Explain it to us.
Right.
Explain it.
What is this?
Okay, right, we'll get some information later.
I'm like,
Is
this shit?
we get to learn on the podcast.
I don't even know if I want to learn. It's
These are shit questions.
the big ones. Oh, well, it's my question anyway.
It sounds like a foot fungus.
It does. I think I'll just ask Michael a question while he's getting
Okay.
better questions. Michael, I have a question for you. My question is, if you didn't choose CrossFit as a thing to open a gym for, what would you open a gym for and why? I feel like that.
Ooh, what would I open a gym for and why? I'd be more sports performance, so strength and conditioning.
Would you choose cricket or would you just choose sport in general?
No, I wouldn't necessarily specify. I mean, you could be a little bit, like, paint with a little bit of a broader brush. So you could just go throwing sports, could go field sports, but I wouldn't necessarily isolate myself to one sport because there is a lot of carryovers.
Yeah, no, I think that's super best. You made that up in my spot. And
That was good.
What are the key principles of progressive overload and why is it important for building muscle?
Oh, we did a YouTube video on this. Yeah, detail. All right, quick question. What are the key principles to progressive overload? We do have an in-depth version that's on YouTube. Can you give us the 60-second rundown?
Okay. Volume and intensity are super important. They must change throughout the program. So you usually only start with low intensity, high volume. You condition yourself to lots of reps, obviously build muscle and hypertrophy, get better technique. And then as the program progresses, as you get heavier, depending on your goal, but we're assuming we're talking about strength training. As it progresses, the volume gets lower, the intensity gets higher. So reps get lower. So you go from 10 to 8 to 6 to 4 to 2, maybe all the way down to 1. You do a single and then that's it. But then there's also other elements to it, but that's just probably the shortest version of it. So starting with high volume, low intensity, increasing the intensity, reducing the volume to the point that you get to a max.
I like that. And just to elaborate on that, I think when you repeat, you might not necessarily go back to high volume. You can go back to moderate volume. Yeah. But the high volume is extremely important at the start because you need to learn new skills. So you need to learn positions, you need time, you need reps, you need volume. Yeah. So you want the intensity to be low. Even if we're teaching butterfly, things like that, we use the same protocol.
Yeah, there's a more in-depth version of it. They call it
Time!
Damn it. I forget. Acclimation, transmutation, realization. That's the 3 words they use for it, but that's another topic for our time.
Too many uni words.
Yeah, I didn't even go to uni. Next question.
What's the minimum effective dose for training that still gets results? E.g., busy parents, shift workers, or anyone?
Cool, and I've got a little point on this one too. Michael, what is the minimum effective volume that you can have for someone who is busy, who doesn't show up to the gym 6 days a week?
Well, I would say 3 sessions a week. I like to work off the protocol of like 30-minute sessions, so 90 minutes a week. I know there's some people out there, evidence-based training just did one where he was saying, I think he was saying like 8 sets a week per muscle group, so 20-minute session, which for like a very, very untrained individual who's never picked up anything in their life, probably. But if you got someone who literally is a farmer or like had a tradie, it's not going to do shit.
What about 8 sets of what though? Like it's like, okay, per muscle.
Per muscle. So the concept is if you did 2 sets of chest, all right, one day, and then you did another movement, you did 2 sets. So you did 4 sets for the day, and then you did that again later in the week. That's enough for you to get adaptation, hypertrophy.
Then that's my question. Like, what about, is it barbell bench or is it chest flies? Like, what's like, that's what I mean. So like it's not very specific to, oh, if you do this.
But that's the point. He's trying to, like, if we just think about what's happening here, all you're trying to do to get buy-in is you're trying to, like, make it seem more achievable. So how accurate this is, actually, people don't give a shit about. I would say it's not very accurate because if you had a cohort group of 1,000 people and you gave them that, you probably have, like, 1 or 2 people who would get adaptation. I'd say, or less than 10%.
Yeah.
So it's not something that we should be putting out as general information.
No, I agree. Next question. So we question 7? Same, right? Yeah, I'm saying 7.
Can you build muscle and lose fat at the same time?
Oh, Ty, this is for you. Can you build muscle and lose fat at the same time?
I say for untrained individuals or people who are very overweight, very easily. I would say for intermediate athletes, you can, but it does require a little bit more intentional effort. For people who are very well trained, I would say that this is very hard and you have to be very specific at certain elements.
Or enhance.
Yeah, enhance. Enhance is very easy too, of course. But for very trained individuals like us, at some point, you're going to have to eat more than you burn. You're going to put on fat. It's just going to be the reality of it because your body is so conditioned to doing what you're doing. You need to put it under a stress or overload it to a point during nutrition. This way, you're overloading it by eating too much so that your body puts on muscle and fat and consistently works in that schedule. You obviously have to cut it at some point, which will lose muscle and fat. And just some people obviously work better. They have better genetics, better androgen receptors, better like X, Y, Z, more testosterone, training. And that's it. So like, I think the short answer, obviously less trained, more overweight, very easy. Steroids, very easy. Intermediate, not too hard, but it's possible, but it's like, you know, you're probably likely to put a bit of fat on while you're building muscle. And then for well-trained individuals, it's likely that you put 30% fat, 70% muscle.
Just to elaborate on that, well-trained individuals, well-trained can be defined as exposure to specific movements, so you could always tend to movement. So if you never low bar back squat, your boys high bar back squatted, low bar back squat, you're more likely to put on some muscle and do it now.
Exactly. That's probably a good point. Next one.
All right. It's a little bit more, less about training, more deep.
Deep fuck philosophy. I'm going to talk about stuff.
No, less. If you could start over today with zero judgment or pressure, what would you spend your time doing?
Michael, if you could start...
My question?
No, you just asked me. Stop trying to take short-term memory. He's a goldfish. Michael, if you could start over today with no judgment, what would you do and why?
But this is a deep question. What would I do?
Man,
start over today with no judgment.
Come out with clothes.
This is a never-ending question. There's so many things. The world is empty.
So you've got 55 seconds.
I can tell you I did the same thing I'm doing now. So anyway, just...
Yeah, it's hard because with the perspective that you have now, like I would repeat the same journey. There'll be things that I would iterate or try and shorten or condense. Like some learning curves just took longer. And obviously for me, I'm like, fuck, I'd rather just learn at a faster rate so that we can move a little bit quicker. But in terms of... I mean, if there's one thing that I would do, like when we moved, it would be like bringing my entire family across as well. So like one thing that I feel like I have such great friends, good work colleagues, like good relationship, but I don't feel like I have the family dynamic that a lot of people have here because, which I grew up with, but moving across the world, you lose that.
Yeah.
Like there's that trade-off and it's very hard to stay in touch and have those connections with people that you grew up with because everyone else like, look,
you don't see them every day. You don't see them once a month or once a year per family fan. It's also the security too.
Yeah, and I'm scared. Like I have good memories of them and everyone's older and more frail now and I don't want to overwrite the memories I have with potential negative memories. And I mean, it might just be a selfish thing, but it's a good point. Question 9, 2 to go.
What are you tolerating that deep down you know you should change?
All right, Ty, what are you tolerating that deep down you know you should change?
That's a large question. Actually don't know. I'm really tolerating economy.
Yeah, because it's not an objective thing, is it?
I think something I'm tolerating a lot. I have arthritis in my hips, so I tolerate a lot of pain, generally quite a lot. For a long time, I just let it happen. I was like, this is my life now. I can't change this. It was actually one of the members here who got me onto what I take now, edible THC, whatever. But it's not the THC. It's not the psychoactive part. It's the CBD that comes with the CBD oil. It's like a healthy alternative to painkillers. I was always against painkillers. Never took them because I was like, they're so bad for your kidneys and gut and whatever.
Yeah, stripped away.
I think I've already done it. But I feel like I put up with the pain for 3 years. I didn't have to. Like I could have had that alternative. And when I finally found that alternative, it has revolutionized my life. So
you're always restricted by like your beliefs.
That's it. I think if I back that off a bit, something less serious and less scary, when I got an injury and I didn't address it straight away. Now that I'm more experienced, I go straight to my physio or my chiro. And the great thing is always having an appointment booked in the future. You know that at some point you'll see them, so you can address that injury, even if it's every month. So I think being more cognizant of that, not letting pain just linger, not just pushing through it because you're safe from, get it addressed, get it sorted. Last question.
What does enough look like for you in money, success, relationships?
Such a bad question for Michael.
I like this question.
Such a bad question for Michael. We don't even have a minute.
Go!
Okay, Michael.
All right.
Michael, what does enough look like financially in relationships, family, friends, and everything in general?
This is a question that I often struggle with. I probably have this conversation with myself at least once a week about content, like being content. When will I be? Can you saying this over there? Yeah, we were literally just talking about it. And I don't think I ever will. I think it's one of those things where like you'll achieve what you set out to achieve, and then you will just move to the next thing.
Yeah.
I have an addictive personality, and I feel like I'm addicted to moving. So if it's like, okay, if I get this car, I'll be happy. Once I get the car and I've had it, now it's like the next stage. So for me, we talk about like our events and business and stuff like that, and we might run the best comp we've ever run, and then it's like the Monday we're straight back to the next theory. But rather than kind of chasing that, like, will I be content? I'm trying to work quite closely on being able to celebrate those wins.
Yeah.
And I think that's the starting point for it for me.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think what we spoke about the other day as well is like, yeah, obviously you could always want more, but a part of being content as well is having that 1,000-foot view of seeing what you've already achieved and be proud of what you've done. You can still want more. Like might have set these goals for myself. Before I turn 30, I will hit this, and this. I've gotten 2 of the 3 goals already. And I'm like, I want more. But I'm like, 1,000-foot view.
Yeah, to the moon.
Yeah, I achieved that. I did that. Like, I actually got that done. And looking back at this thing, content with that you did do it. Did do what you set out to do. Some of my athletes have achieved their, like, yearly goal in the first 3 months. I felt like, they're like, what do I do now? I'm like, more.
The next thing.
More. But I'm also like,
But celebrate.
be proud of it. Be proud of what you've done. And we have a group chat with the boys, all my lifting guys, and we just send videos through every day, and everyone like, wow, well done, awesome. But I also go through and go back to old videos and resend them.
It's like, because like, I don't know if you heard about Will Smith, but he talks about like all the success and stuff that he has, and how like he still feels very lonely or like complacent or down. Like, and I think you need to define what success is for you. And for me, like, success is not solo. It's not a solo journey. So when I paint success in my head, I'm like, okay, business is going to be successful. In my head, everyone around me gets to come with me, and then we get to celebrate together.
No.
So it's not like I'm the one who's going to make all the money. Like, that's not how I think about it, because it'd be a very lonely journey. No one's going to give a shit if you're the only one that has money, and anyone that hangs around you is only hanging around you for the benefit.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you can pay for dinner. Like, as where if you all successful together, it's way more enjoyable.
That's probably the term of like, you can be wealthy and poor, or you can be poor and wealthy, right? Being poor, but because you've helped everyone else on the way, CEOs cutting their salary to give their staff more money, that's going to be more long-term beneficial than taking all the money for yourself and making them suffer. And it's like, you end up at the end of the day, no one's going to come and help you when you need it.
But you've done this with lifting.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if you got stronger and no one else around you got stronger.
Yeah.
Like, it would be a very lonely journey, as where you've gotten stronger, but you brought everyone else with you.
If anything, they're going far. They've done what I've done in 10 years in 1. And that's scary, because I said to them, I'm like, it's a win-win. If you beat me, if you get stronger than me, it's a win-win. Because I'm like, that means I'm a better coach than I am an athlete. And that's what I want. I'd much rather have my athletes outlift me consistently and be better than me than me being the best, because at the end of the day, I'm not a great coach if I'm the best.
Yeah, and I think for me, I take a lot of pride in just starting to be able to like slay bigger and bigger bosses. So it's like, yeah, but it is. It's like, okay, I've done level 1, now let's do level 2.
Yeah.
Now it's like, let's do level 3, let's do level 4. Like, and I think that's just life. Like life, that's what they mean by the human experience, where it's like, you just get to interact with the world at different levels.
Yeah. I think it's a good place to leave it. Minute on.
Minutes on.
That was I think that's pretty good for us. That'll cover us off for the episode. Questions, as always, sent through Unbound Athletic. Either message myself, Michael, or probably Izzy if we're going to get your questions.
And that concludes minute on and 3 minutes off.